Woo! That beat go hard. Damn. Thank you, Stat King. This week in the Monday Night War, we got the fallout for Raw from In Your House #7. And the scandal to end all scandals. And on Nitro. How do they counter? Of course. With the WCW Heavyweight Championship match. What did you expect? Romeo SP3. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. Jump in the DeLorean, pump up the flux capacitor for episode 51 of True Rewind Season 2. This is where me and the good brothers, we go back in time to the Monday Night Wars. We review Monday Night Raw and WCW Monday Nitro, and we decide what was the better show for the week. On this edition of True Rewind, we will be reviewing the April 29th episode of WCW Nitro and the fallout from In Your House #7, Good Friends, Better Enemies on Monday Night Raw. I am back once again with the connoisseur of reporting himself, truly heel, Romeo Anthony Cologne.
You know, the first 50 episodes of True Rewind, they ended with Diesel taking off a prosthetic leg off of Mad Dog. It feels like from here on out, things are just going to get more heelish. It feels like we got a scandal in this 151. Things are getting a bit more heated up here now.
It's getting edgy. It's getting very edgy on both shows here. This week, don't worry. I know you don't see our third member, Drunk Guy JJ. No, he is not lost in time. He's not in the 70s. He's not in the 80s. He's not even in 1995. He's not on a coke binger. He's not on a cough medicine binger. Not doing any drugs. He is there for the birth of his child, Quincy. We want to say congratulations to Drunk Guy JJ. He is in 2021. He's taking care of business, being the great father that he is. So
two-time baby-making champion.
Two-time baby-making champion as of today. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to his Mrs. Drunk Guy. So we are very happy for them. So that is why he is not with us this week. But you are. So if you are, drop a like on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, what the hell are you doing? Push that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified. You saw the video at the top of this show. We have a full week of SummerSlam content coming up, culminating on Saturday and Sunday for our 4-year anniversary of our podcast, True Hill Heat 139, with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ, and special guest, my Daily Boys brethren, Alex McCarthy, the face of UK wrestling journalism and of TalkSport and Wrestling Daily. We're also going to have a live watch along hosted by our very own Romeo Anthony Cologne for SummerSlam, so you can watch along with your friends here at True Hill Heat. Then on Sunday, we have two live roundtable reviews for SummerSlam in the morning, and then in the evening following NXT TakeOver 36, they're going to go live with the roundtable review. So there is so much content to enjoy. So now is the time, if you haven't already, push the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on True Hill Heat. If you're watching the live premiere, leave your thoughts on this episode of True Rewind in the live chat. If you're watching on demand or on replay, in the comments section below, let us know what you thought about the April 29th, 1996 episodes of Raw and Nitro. Romeo, as usual, you are the pilot, the driver of the DeLorean. Take it away.
Let's start with Nitro, good brother. April 29th, 1996, taped What? I thought the C in WCW stood for commitment, Eric Bischoff. Taped from Albany, Georgia. And that's
Shocking.
because Nitro was on at an earlier time due to the NBA playoffs. A problem the current AEW Dynamite knows all about. They switch nights sometimes. By the way, the Orlando Magic defeated the Detroit Pistons 101-98 to take a 3-0 series lead. Shaq, Penny. That should age well.
Great team there. Great team.
We have our Pepe. Oh, here was Eric Bischoff shooting a jumper. Very awful form. Guys, don't shoot like this. That's not going to go in.
Don't hold your wrist as you shoot. That's just an advisement. That's not how you shoot the ball. Like you go like Penny. But yeah, I wouldn't take jump shooting advice from Eric Bischoff. I would probably get his advice before Ben Simmons, but other than that, that's the only person that I wouldn't go to before Eric Bischoff.
We got a Pepe fashion report. I don't know what's going on here.
He's got a nice little hat he's rocking, looking like the Macho Man Randy Savage, since Savage wasn't on this episode. And our Mongo meter is going off right off the bat. Mongo saying, "Well, I think Ric Flair has made a mistake tonight, my friends. The Giant, the last time they met, spotted him. I'm looking for the same tonight."
Okay. And we start with a tag team championship match. Harlem Heat versus Lex Luger and Sting. Lex, full babyface. No more of that pretending to enjoy slapping hands with the fans. This time he means it.
He means it. That's Sting's best friend.
And we got another Mongo alert. Sound the alarms. Harlem Heat has been tearing up stuff in the house since their mother was changing their diapers together. Bischoff corpses. He pauses. He doesn't know what to say. Send for the man.
Send for him.
This match, I did not like Booker T missing an elbow drop, not selling the pain from that instant spinneroonie into a jumping kick. Jimmy Hart comes out throwing a towel in the ring. Booker catches it. And Stevie Ray tosses Jimmy into the ring for Booker to deal with. All this distraction allows Sting to roll up Booker. 8:38, dirty finish. And still tag team champions.
They are the original dysfunctional tag team, makeshift tag team between two main eventers, but they keep winning. So that's what makes them the pioneers of this trope. But I like Sting and Luger as baby faces. They work very well with each other. Harlem Heat, as usual, they're good sometimes, and then other times they're a little clunky. This was a little mixture of both. And the finish, I think, plays into, Lex Luger, like you said, he seems more babyface, but he still has that heel tendency, and he still has a somewhat
with his offense,
somewhat shouty relationship with Jimmy Hart, and that's why Jimmy got involved here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see Sting, the white meat babyface, winning like this, which they didn't really acknowledge after.
He didn't even seem like he was mad at Luger like before,
which he used to be before, yeah. Next up, we have another tag team match. This time, Fire and Ice making their Monday Night War debut. This is Scott Norton and Ice Train, and they're wrestling the Steiner brothers. This was a big hoss fight, just slamming the shit out of each other. Big men slapping meat.
Big men slapping meat. This is the match that probably made Big E a professional wrestling fan.
Rick Steiner wins with the Steiner line in 325. Ice Train no-sells it immediately to his knees. Right after the count. Oh.
It's a flash knockout. Flash knockout right there.
I mean, for the short time it was, they were going at it.
Ice Train is in actuality my colleague from Wrestling Daily. For any Wrestling Daily friends, Sat E Yankee. That's actually Ice Train. He just teleported to this, and he's still the same age. But I like this. I like this match for what it was. It was different from the opening tag team matchup. Just big men slapping meat and getting all meaty up in there, and the Steiners getting the victory. Their theme song their theme song is one of the goats right there. Steiner Rise, Steiner Rise.
Not for me, folks. Not for me. Next up, Mean Gene is with the world's champion, Ric Flair, who at first is looking a little nervous with women and Elizabeth. And Ric Flair tells Gene to look at the women and ask if he's nervous about a 7-foot ignoramus. Rick then starts singing and kissing Elizabeth's hand, taunting the Macho Man. Woman says Giant is a small man compared to Flair. He makes Elizabeth say the same.
Elizabeth, I needed her to blink 4 times to make sure that she's not there against her will, because she looked highly uncomfortable. She did not look like she wanted to be there. But I'm mad at you for not mentioning that fabulous gold jacket. God damn, that was the thing that stood out the most to me. Look at that gold jacket. She's popping out there. Look at the fashionista, Miss Elizabeth. She's got the bonnet underneath.
That's because the Macho Man's money paid for that.
Oh my God, Macho is she is blinging out with your money, Mach. But yeah, Elizabeth looked great here, other than looking highly uncomfortable and like she was kidnapped and there against her will. Other than that, she looked great.
Then we have a promo video. Blood runs cold. And this symbol right here. Something is coming. Something is coming to Nitro, and it looks like it's freezing cold.
It looks like it's Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
They might as well have been. All right, next up, we got a random parking lot fight brawl between Belfast Bruiser and William Regal.
This was great. Oh my God, I loved every minute of this. It was random. There was no build up for this from last week, but I don't care. It was William Regal and Belfast Bruiser. Belfast Bruiser looking older in 1996 than he did in 2008 when he made it to WWE. William Regal looking like he was there for a fight. This was different from the William Regal that we've seen in other weeks. Lord Steven Regal, with this was totally different. This was a different him. This was more of the fighting guy that he came up in the UK independent, and this was just glorious brawling all over cars, on car hoods. I do have to, like I said, it's just the magic of a porn stash and a mullet of how Belfast Bruiser looks older here than he did almost a decade later coming to WWE. I can't explain it, but it fascinates me. And William Regal gets to win with a low blow and a power driver on the hood of a car. This was great.
By the way, they had a whole ass crowd out there.
They had a whole ass crowd. It's like that many people couldn't get into Nitro. That's amazing.
Turned away at the door.
That's amazing. They turned away about maybe 1,000 people. That was crazy.
I love the symmetry of 2021 William Regal. The NXT parking lot, one of the most dangerous places on planet Earth. Everyone always gets attacked in there. And here's William Regal in 1996 having a parking lot brawl. I love it.
He wished he could have brought this kind of fury to Karrion Kross when he attacked him in the parking lot a couple of weeks ago.
By the way, Brain says, "Wait a second, that's my rent-a-car."
That was perfect. That was the perfect cherry on top of this masterpiece here.
Oh, we forgot to mention that these guys are actually tag team partners at Slamboree.
Who's going to get a long leash? Belfast Bruiser and Lord Steven Regal, or Macho Man and Ric Flair?
Oh, boy. Next up, it's main event time. The Giant versus Ric Flair for the WCW Heavyweight Championship. Someone launches garbage at Giant's eye. He no-sells it. Very well done by him. Ric Flair makes his entrance. He wants a kiss from Deborah McMichael in the crowd. She looks insulted and disinterested. Mongo, once again, angry on commentary, but has done nothing about it. Absolutely nothing.
He's getting cuckolded.
Flair sells all over the place for the Giant, uses an illegal weapon behind the ref's back to knock out the Giant. He applies the figure four, but Giant awakens, choking him. I love the ref's face here.
It's like Goozle. Oh my god, he's choking him.
And Giant with the choke slam clean for the win, 549, and new WCW heavyweight champion Jimmy Hart jumps in his arms, celebrating. Women with some really annoying screaming at ringside as if Flair's on his deathbed. I really hated that. Jesus. Mean Gene wants an interview, of course, right away. Giant says he's a fighting champ, calls out Hogan, Sting, Macho Man, come one, come all.
He said he should have had this belt since Halloween Havoc, and he is correct. He is correct. In my opinion, he is correct.
And then Bischoff on commentary after announces randomly it'll be the Giant versus Sting for the world title at Slamboree. What? That was quick and random.
It's because Ric Flair was in this Battle Bowl Lord of the Ring tournament as the WCW World Champion when the prize for winning the tournament is a WCW World Heavyweight Championship title match. I think the fix was in here. They knew that the Giant was going to win somehow, some way, and that's why Ric Flair was put into this Battle Bowl at Slamboree last week.
How do you feel about the title change?
I loved it. I loved it. No, it wasn't random. It's been built up for since Halloween Havoc. The Giant's been the uncrowned world champion since then. You got your Macho Man title reign. You got Ric Flair title reign. You had Macho Man and Ric Flair played hopscotch and hot potato with that title for a few months here.
But that feud is still going.
Yeah.
And now here's to the Giant.
Because that feud doesn't need the world title. It's never needed the world title.
It's got the Macho Man's name on it. Ric Flair is mocking him because of it.
Hey, the Giant's going to put his name on it. That's why Flair never put his name on it, because he knew he wasn't going to hold it long. The Giant is able to look like the beast that he is. He's been, percolating in the background.
Except against Hogan.
Yeah, of course not. No wonder Hulk Hogan's taking a break from movies, and finally the Giant gets a fucking title reign. But yeah, I'm very happy for Giant. He's deserved this for a while, and they're finally seem like they're getting behind him. And like I said, Macho and Ric Flair does not need the world title. This man stole his wife, has his wife stealing the man's money. So yeah, it's not necessary to have the world title in that feud anyway.
On that same note, Sting does not need a world championship match.
Yes, he does.
Even though he's over, he's a tag team champion.
He got screwed at Starrcade. Do you not remember? He's fucking Lex Luger holding the hand.
So then he shouldn't be tag team champion then.
No, he could be a double champion.
Oh my god.
He could be a double champion. There's no tag team title match at Slamboree. He can get a world title
with
match.
all those tag team matches.
With all those tag team matches. There's no world tag team titles on the line, so he could get a tag team match. Why not?
Well, folks, it's like I always say, you can't become a 16-time world champion unless you lose it 15 times.
And he's up to 13 now.
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer is critical of the decision to take the belt off of Ric Flair, who's still among the best in the company, and thinks this might expose the Giant. He also doesn't think the Giant needs the title. Whoa, there's a change of opinion, since he's already an attraction without it. Fun fact, the Giant is only 24, and this makes him one of the youngest people to ever win the title. At the time, Lou Thez was the youngest, winning it when he was 21 back in 1937. But the Giant is the first wrestler to ever win it in his rookie year. He debuted just 6 months ago, and prior to that, had only ever worked one match on an indie show.
If Uncle Dave said this in 2021, the Giant would retweet it and say that you never liked me. You've never liked me since I debuted. You said I wasn't Andre's son when I am, and I'm not gonna wrestle for some stupid star rating that you've already given me. Shit, man. Andrade sounded stupid.
Oh, he said that? Damn.
Yeah, Andrade said he doesn't care for Dave, and Dave has never said anything nice about him or his fiance, and he's not gonna wait around for no goddamn star rating. When Dave gave him the first 5-star rating in WWE in 7 years against Johnny Gargano at Takeover Philly, and Dave is one of the biggest advocates for Charlotte Flair in wrestling journalism. Andrade, I'm sorry, I'm a fan of yours, but you sound like a goddamn idiot.
Oh, well, Charlotte has beef with Meltz over that. What was the report that
She was getting work done. That one.
and that he should have just asked her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did it the right way. Her retweet made sense for her to tell, Dave, you got my number, you got my dad's number, you could call me. That made sense. What Andrade said didn't.
Let's wrap up this Nitro 1:30 finish. Match of the night, that street fight, parking lot fight. Unanimous. MVP,
Yes.
new world champion. I'll go with the Giant.
Unanimous as well. But yeah, match of the night, parking lot brawl. I loved every minute of Belfast Bruiser versus Lord Steven Regal. And yeah, the MVP is the new world champion, the Giant. Congratulations.
LVP, I know we have a Mongo meter, but Mongo went above and beyond for LVP for this one, especially with the whole Deborah thing, not doing anything about it. Looks like a bitch.
Cuckold indeed. I went co-MVPs between Mongo and the Harlem Heat. They look like idiots getting distracted when they had to win.
We'll put our thumbs out. And in 3, 2, 1 will be thumbs up or thumbs down for this edition of Nitro. 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down from you. I'll give it a thumbs in the middle. The rating.
Oh, you know what? I'll give it a thumbs in the middle because of that Belfast Bruiser versus William Regal.
That's the only reason why.
we had a title shot. We had a title match to open the show, a title match to end the show, and a new champion. Yeah, I gotta revert back and give it a thumbs in the middle for sure.
The rating. What do you think this Nitro did?
What did last week do?
I got to go all the way back to True Rewind 49, where they did a 2.7.
2.7. I'm going to say they're back up, and they did a 2.9.
This is the lowest rating since November.
Ooh.
Remember, it was 7 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I didn't take that into account. So I'm going with 2.1.
Yep, 2.1. Oof. All right, let's switch the channel.
You got to lose like 700,000. I learned that from AEW when they switch times. You lose like 700,000 or so.
Let's switch the channel to USA.
Let me get my remote.
Which is live. Take that, Eric. From Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, if you're going over to watch the TNT show, you should know the big doofus who's trying to be Andre's son is your new world champion, and Sting and Luger beat the Harlem Heat or Harlem Code, as far as I'm concerned. Imagine if WWF did that; that would have been awesome.
That's the golden opportunity. Vince McMahon, not petty for once. They showed footage from last night in your house. Bulldog confronting Uncle Gino. Leave Uncle Gino alone, jeez.
He didn't do anything. He didn't harass your wife.
Yeah, confronts him about Shawn sleeping with his wife. And he goes to confront Shawn in ring. They cut the footage and go to the intro. Then we got an opening match of Bart Gunn versus Mankind. Bart Gunn with just some boring offense that this crowd couldn't care less about. Both guys either get blood or red marks from the ropes. I don't know what it was.
Idea. It looked like Mankind's face was bleeding, and then it just after a while you see it on all their body, and it just looks like paint.
Yeah. Bart at the end with some awful ground and pound punches. Mankind reverses that into the mandible claw for the win in 10:46, and then he rocks back and forth to the sweet sounds of the piano music.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's beautiful.
Dun, 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 dun.
Afterwards, Bart Gunn is with JR backstage. JR asking what that move felt like. How was the paralysis?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Bart says, "Motherfucker, I can't breathe right now." Mankind attacks him again, broken up by officials. At least Mankind looked good.
Hey, Mankind looks dominant once again. I didn't think the match was that bad. I think Bart Gunn had a decent looking flying elbow. His ground and pound was god awful, so I'm happy that Mankind said enough of this shit and then just put on the mandible claw. This went a lot longer than it should have, in my opinion.
How crazy that his ground and pound looked awful, and this will be the free for all eventual winner. Knocking dudes out. Brawl for all, excuse me.
Well, that was ground and pound. He's a stand-up. Yeah. He's a stand-up. Just saying.
Oh, man. Next up, we got Savio Vega on commentary. He challenges Stone Cold to a Caribbean strap match at the next In Your House. And it's Stone Cold versus Scott Taylor in the ring. Savio says if Stone Cold doesn't accept, he's just going to jump in that ring tonight and whip his ass. Jerry Lawler starts talking about how there's a bunch of cowards in Puerto Rico.
Jesus Christ.
Vince tries to calm down Savio, who gets easily triggered by that. He tells Savio...
Is that the easiest thing to trigger Puerto Ricans?
A bunch of cowards.
A bunch of cowards.
Vince is like, just consider the source. Austin wins with the $1 Million Dream in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Savio grabs the mic, makes his challenge official to Austin. I read Austin's lips here. You piece of shit. That's all I read. So that doesn't sound like a yes.
Doesn't sound like a no either.
True. Well, Savio takes it as a no, and he goes in there and does what he said he was going to do. He whips Austin with the strap. A man of his word. That's not very cowardly to me.
He's a babyface. He's a babyface for sure. I like that Scotty 2 Hotty raid the closet of the Steiner brothers before this matchup with the attire that he was wearing, and it looked nothing like Scotty 2 Hotty of what we would grow to love.
Is that actually Scotty 2 Hotty? Are you sure?
Scott Taylor is Scotty 2 Hotty.
Back from commercial, Vince in ring. Lawler says Austin chased Savio out the building. I don't think that was true. Consider the source. Consider the source.
Yeah, consider the source. That's what we're going to say from now on whenever Jerry Lawler says anything.
Then it's time for Vince McMahon to mediate in the ring between HBK, Bulldog, Diana, Hart Smith, Jim Cornette's there, Jose Lothario.
Like, this McMahon might be the worst mediator of all time. Like, he completely disrespected the people that were making the allegations. He's too focused on Shawn Michaels. He's jacking off Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring. It's like, oh, you did so great and good friends, better enemies. Yeah, yeah.
Shawn Michaels humble brags. His style of wrestling.
Humble. That's the last word to describe this one.
His style of wrestling that nobody said could beat Bret Hart in an Iron Man match. Nobody said could beat Diesel in No Holds Barred. He did it. He did both of it. Jim Cornette doesn't want to hear this crap. He wants to get down to business. They show video footage at In Your House. They highlight a production assistant in the crowd.
Video evidence.
Video evidence signaling for Diana to come to the back because Cornette was in trouble. Jim says Shawn took Diana in the back, put his arm around her, took her into a dark corner, and propositioned her.
Oh my God. This evil, evil, sexy boy.
Called Shawn a pervert and a sexual deviant.
And he called him a fornicator. That was the best one. That popped me. He called Shawn a fornicator. It's true. It's goddamn true.
Then it's time for Shawn to face his accuser, the woman he tried to deflower. Oh, Zoe.
Diana does her best, Sonny. I know you want me.
I know you want me. Although she said it with 100 times less charisma. Shawn, I know you want me.
like Shawn, I know you want me.
And she just says they only trusted her with one line of dialogue. That's it. That's it.
I can't.
Nothing else.
They was like, you were the worst entrance that we've ever had in WWE, and that's saying a lot. So you
Even
only get one line.
even Elizabeth gets more to say than that. I like Jerry the King Lawler. He said Shawn would go after a snake if it had a skirt on. Oof.
Oh my goodness, this was hilarious. And then Shawn says to Diana, "With all due respect, please do not flatter yourself." And these fans, these goddamn fans, this is totally different from 2020 social media. 2020 social media, any allegation against a wrestler, he's guilty until proven innocent. These people are totally on Shawn's side, and they're saying, "Oh, yay, yay, don't flatter yourself, Diana. Diana's the victim here. God damn it, WWF fans. First you're calling people the F word, then you're cheering a fornicator. This is preposterous."
Please do not flatter yourself. Then Shawn gets slapped for that. They do trust Diana getting physical.
Deservingly so.
And then Shawn with another good line. Well, I guess we know who wears the pants in the Smith family.
Great line. That was a great line.
And then he gets his ass kicked for that. Bulldog has enough, goes berserk. Officials break it up. From the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave doesn't know if the match will draw, but he thinks the storyline is great. And you know what? I like that too. What did you think?
I love the storyline. I don't like the fans' reaction. I don't like Vince being the mediator, but everything else about this was great. It was just perfect. It was a great way to mix in what Shawn Michaels was with who he is now, and at the same time, it's a great ploy, probably mastermind by Jim Cornette. British Bulldog plays his role well. Diana Hart, for as little of line she got, she played her role well. Everything was on point here, and this was a great way to kickstart the next feud for Shawn Michaels.
Next up, we got Shawn going to the back, walking past the new Rockers, and he should have popped Leaf Cassidy for getting in his face. Read the room, Leaf. Now's not the time.
Leaf should have called him a fornicator.
Leaf and Marty Jannetty do some really goofy dance moves or whatever. Anyways, next week, Taker versus Owen Hart, Mark Merrow versus Kid. That's a decent 1-2 punch for next week.
That's good.
Oh, and the Rockers versus...
Good opener and closer.
Right now, we got the Rockers versus the Godwins. Number 1 contenders match. Or if it was 2021, it'd be a championship contenders match.
No, it doesn't involve the champion, so it's not a championship contenders.
That's true. Sunny has asked what her preference is. She shits on them both. Comes to get a closer look to the biggest pop of the match. And both teams get counted out after Marty takes a dive of the ropes with Phineas, 9:51. A very fast 10 count by the ref. Dirty finish. Sunny celebrates.
Sunny got what she wanted. She distracted Phineas long enough. Phineas waving hi to her, trying to get her attention. He's like a lot of he's like wrestling fans at the one of the shows when there's a girl in the crowd and you're just like, one of those it was Phineas. Phineas plays this role very well as horny fiend. So yeah, I mean this was what it was. Clunky, not very good, and the 10-minute length felt longer. So yeah, I wasn't too enthused with this. Phineas going wild with the pig headstands is a little much for me. I don't know, it was a little much. I prefer horny Phineas over pig-like Phineas.
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter. During the most recent European tour, when they were in Germany, the Clique ended up with more heat than ever.
Ooh.
Since their leaving, Diesel and Razor Ramon were flagrantly breaking every company rule they could in front of everybody, and there was a ton of heat on Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley as well, with several wrestlers wanting to beat up Michaels in particular. But they were talked out of it because they knew they'd be fired if they did. Sunny left the tour in Germany because she was being ribbed to death by the wrestlers. including someone taking a shit in her food.
That was British Bulldog. I'm pretty sure that was Bulldog. From what I know about his history, it was British Bulldog.
Chris Candido was also being ribbed and bullied by everyone, acting like school children. Dave says there's some kind of romantic triangle going on here involving Sonny, and it's not really anyone's business until it affects work.
Oh boy.
And now it is affecting work, so it is a problem. This would be Sonny, Candido, and Shawn.
Yes, it would, and this would be what kind of ruined Chris Cantino's time in the WWE, led to him going over to ECW, and for better or worse, it kind of ruined Sunny's time in WWE when she was the most downloaded WWE superstar of all time. This little love triangle would ruin her reputation and lead to her eventually leaving, besides her other problems, which are her personal problems. But yeah, this did not do well for anybody involved except for maybe Shawn. Shawn was untouchable at this point, so it didn't matter if he was in a love triangle or love hexagon. Shawn Michaels was safe.
Next up, we had another Mankind segment, interview with JR.
So do you want to play JR and I played Mankind?
I don't have JR's lines written down.
Okay, it's fair. It's fair. I had Mankind's full promo here. I just don't have the JR lines, but I'll go.
But I
with
feel
it.
like he was asking the same thing he was asking earlier to Bart Gunn. How was the finisher? How did it feel? Something like that.
There you go. That's how it starts. And Mankind says, "Would you like me to show it to you?" And JR is like, "No, can
Hell
you explain? Hell no. Can you explain?" And Mankind says, "You know, there are over 740 pressure points in the human body. And during the course of an isolated adolescence, I explored them all, searching for the weapon from which there would be no escape. I found the nerve underneath the eye socket. As you can see, no matter how hard I tried, but underneath the tongue, where the flesh is weak and the nerves run deep, when enough force is exhibited, there is no escape. Temporary paralysis overtakes the body, and the only hope is mankind's love for humanity. And I assure you, I have none." And JR asks him about the Undertaker, his attack on the Undertaker a couple of weeks ago, and why he destroyed him. Mankind says, "I'm not surprised by how I destroyed the Undertaker, but I am surprised by just how easy it really was. So show some courage, you gutless fool, or I will destroy you whenever and wherever I feel like it. I'm becoming bored with your weakness. Have a nice day."
You guys have no clue how much enjoyment SP3 takes from doing these Mankind promos, vignettes, interviews.
It's been a while. This was fun. I had to
It's been a while.
I had to replay this like 4 times to get every line down. So,
The dedication. Next up, it's Isaac Yankum DDS versus The Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior making his first wrestling appearance on Monday Night Raw. And if I'm not mistaken, his last.
I don't think. I think maybe he has one more match. One more match, maybe
On Raw?
Yeah, possibly. I know he's not done until I think just after King of the Ring. So we got a whole nother month or so. I think he has one more match, maybe.
Vince starts plugging Warrior University, part of his deal. Warrior runs out, then runs around the ring, then runs to the back and runs back in again. What the hell is going on?
He's got to work up a sweat before the match because he's not going to work one up in the match.
Lawler on commentary, also in Isaac's corner managing him. It doesn't help. Warrior with a squash, shoulder tackles, and a splash. 344. Lawler, that coward, gets brave and says he's going to take care of Warrior himself. Then immediately asks for help from Isaac. Then says his cord isn't long enough to enter the ring. He can't get in there.
He's like, there's not enough slack on the court. I love it. I love it. Why do we need a commercial break in this three and a half minute match?
To not show you Warrior wrestling. Simple as that.
Oh my god! I was like, why are they going to commercial? Why? Like this
They
match
were
was,
hiding his weaknesses.
this match was instantly over as soon as they came back from break. It was the running shoulder block, the Warrior splash, and that was it. Ouch.
Let's wrap up this Raw. 1:30 finish. Match of the night. I'm gonna go with Godwins and Rockers. Just default.
Hey, that's why I set out that Mankind and Bart Gunn wasn't that bad. This was my match of the night by default. By default, it's match of the night.
This wasn't good. MVP definitely co-MVPs. 1 Mankind and 2 Jerry Lawler. I thought did a good job all night on commentary. Actually, the whole coward thing to Savio, and then he ends up being the coward at the end. That's short-term storytelling.
I gotta go MVP, same as one of my match of the night here. Mankind, gets the match of the night, and then he has the promo of the night. So Mankind for sure.
LVP, I'm gonna go with Diana Hart Smith.
No, she was a part of an excellent angle, so I can't give it to Diana Hart Smith. I gave it to Isaac Yankum, DDS. This is not looking good for your dental career or wrestling career right now. You just jobbed out to Ultimate Warrior in 3 minutes.
Man, we'll put our thumbs out. And 3, 2, 1 will be thumbs up or thumbs down for this edition of Monday Night Raw. 3, 2, 1. Unanimous thumbs down. Even though we both liked that Mankind looked strong, we both liked the scandal angle. These matches were dreadful.
Awful.
And the main event. Oh.
The wrestling, this was no wrestling on this wrestling show.
Yeah. The rating, the last time Raw was on, they did a 3.3. I told you Nitro did a 2.1. But also Raw's going up against NBA playoffs here. What do you think they did?
3.0.
Close, 2.9. Down slightly, but that's still a good number considering the competition, I would say.
Absolutely. Going against the NBA playoffs is tough, so that's a good rating for WWF.
In the ratings war, Raw wins, Raw ties it. It is now tied 14 to 2. All that bragging Eric Bischoff was doing about winning the ratings war, not at all. Not at all. On the True Rewind scoreboard, Nitro wins this week due to their thumbs in the middles. So WCW leads 17-13 on the True Rewind scoreboard.
Look at that. 14-14 in the ratings on the scoreboard for us in quality, 17-13. But that strong lead, they were almost up by like 10 weeks at one point. It's dwindling, but they ticked it back up just a little bit this week. So
they're back on a roll.
Yes. Yeah, that's all I got to say about this week. I think overall the MVP was Mankind. That promo was great to do, and I'm glad he's doing promos again. Give us more WWF, more Mankind, more Goldust promos. You got Undertaker on next week. Give me a Paul Bearer promo. This is what I'm here for. This is the content that I need. If this show had a Goldust promo to go along with the Mankind promo, it probably gets a thumbs in the middle for me. But one promo is not enough.
Guys, do your homework. Watch Raw and Nitro from the next week, which I believe the date is May 6th, 1996. Something along those lines. Definitely check those out so we can talk about it next week for True Rewind 52.
Yes, join us next week, True Rewind episode 52, as we are on the road to Slamboree 1996. That's the next time we're going to be live with you guys on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for a True Rewind. Hopefully, Drunk Guy JJ, the two-time baby making champion, will be back with us next week. But for sure, we hope you enjoyed this video here. Give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the live chat or in the comment section below if you're watching on replay what your MVP, match of the night, and LVP was, and what you thought was the better week, the better show of the two between WCW Nitro and WWF Raw. Romeo, you want to let the good people know where they can find you on social media or right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel?
You can find me, True Heel Romeo, on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me. And why don't I just go through the entire lineup, because I'm on a stream every single day, all the way up until God knows when. And tonight, SummerSlam Go Home show for Monday Night Raw, Rated Raw Superstars. I don't know if Drunk Guy will be able to join me for that, but I'll definitely be on that. Maybe we'll have a surprise fill-in co-host. Tuesday, here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, we are doing a SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver preview at 12 p.m. Eastern. A new Fusion of Honor drops also, 5 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, a new Dark Power drops at 12 p.m. Eastern. And I will be hosting an AEW Dynamite Live watch-along. Join me for that. Thursday, NX3, new episode, Title Tuesday, reviewing that. A live Blunt Impact. Check that out. The Emergence Go Home show for them. Friday night. Jesus. It is Friday. We got the AEW Dynamite review. AEW Ramble. SP3. Jimmy Cash. Jimmy Macro, not Jimmy Cash. Jesus.
Jimmy Cash. Jimmy and Cash.
Jimmy Cash sounds like Johnny Cash's long lost brother.
Oh, I love it.
Friday Night Warriors, you don't want to miss this watch along. Jeez. We started off very simple. It was the SmackDown Go Home. But Rampage, the first dance at 10 p.m. Eastern. Join us at 8. Join us early.
You want to see their reactions to if it is, in fact, CM Punk's debut in AEW. That's going to be that should be our most watch along yet, in my opinion.
Has to. Saturday. You want to go over this one, SP3?
Saturday, True Hill Heat 139, 11 a.m. Eastern time is the tentative time start. We might start a little bit earlier, maybe an hour earlier, but True Hill Heat 139, a huge episode following up from last week's True Hill Heat 138 with our fantasy wrestling draft. Shouts out to the Distraction podcast of Joe Holbert and Jeremy Lambert. We're going big back-to-back weeks with the 4-year anniversary of our podcast. Me, Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ, and our special guest, my Daily Boys brethren, Alex McCarthy, the face of UK wrestling media, and of course the host of Wrestling Daily and Talk Wrestling on Talk Sport. And we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Romeo's going to be hosting the live watch along for WWE SummerSlam 2021. Roman versus Cena, Edge versus Seth, Goldberg versus Lashley, Sasha versus Bianca, possibly. I don't know. Hopefully. But yes, a whole bunch of great matches on that card. So a huge Saturday for True Hill Heat.
And finally, Sunday.
We reviewed the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam live roundtable review, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We might just have a special guest on that edition. We'll keep you updated on the True Hill Heat social media pages. And then we have back-to-back, we have 2 roundtable reviews later on in the evening following NXT TakeOver 36. We go live with our roundtable review for that show. Romeo, Chris G, Ness of NX3 will be on there, and we might just have a special guest for that in store as well. It is a special SummerSlam week / 4-year anniversary week for True Heel Heat. We want to give you live content every single day of the week, and we want to thank you all for joining the True Heel Heat community. We are going to be starting a membership after this week, so you can become a member of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and you'll get special content. We're going to start doing a lot of different stuff. We got a huge announcements coming up on True Heel Heat 139, so stay tuned for the entire week. And of course, like this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're watching this on demand, let us know in the comment section below. MVP, match of the night, and LVP, and what was the better show between WCW Nitro and WWF Raw for April 29th, 1996. And if you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. You can follow me on Twitter at TrueHeelSP3. You can also see me on Wrestling Daily later on today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. BST with Sat E Yankee. Mocha Mondays, the newest addition to the Wrestling Daily schedule. And of course, you can see me on Powered 4 TV and Sportskeeda Wrestling later this week. Follow True Heel Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For the connoisseur of reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been True Rewind, episode 51, the scandal to end all scandals. We are signing off until next time.